cussing and pulling on that thing. And but now that's the best way. Her dad taught me that one. It works real nice.
Yeah, lot less cleanup.
Yeah.
Okay, you're all set.
Okay, then I, as the mayor, pursuant to the charter, will call this organizational meeting Wednesday, January 6th to order at 6:00 p.m. And we don't have this on agenda, but we should begin with the pledge. Especially today, huh?
Yep.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ms. Kepler, can we have a roll call?
Mr. Cotts?
Yeah.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes.
Mrs. Jones?
Present.
Mr. Fetterman?
Here.
Mr. Hawk?
Here.
Ms. Norris? Here. Mr. Stock?
Here.
All right, at this point, I will open the floor for nominations for council president.
I would like to go ahead and make a nomination, please. I would like to go ahead and nominate Dave Stock to continue as our president of this council.
All right, and consistent with Robert's rules, nominations for officers do not require seconds. Any other nominations for president?
Yes, I would like to nominate Mr. Cotts.
All right. All right, any other nominations for president? Any other nominations for president? Any other nominations for president? That's what Robert says. I'm supposed to say it 3 times, and so I did. All right, with that, then we do not need a separate nomination to close, or a motion to close the nominations. Having heard no further nominations, we will proceed to a roll call vote. And you will indicate a vote either for Mr. Stock or for Mr. Cotts when you're called. And Kelly, you can proceed.
Mr. Cotts?
Mr. Cotts.
Mr. Hargit?
Excuse me. Mr. Stock.
Mrs. Jones?
Mr. Cotts.
Mr. Fetterman?
Mr. Cotts.
Mr. Hawk?
Mr. Stock.
Ms. Norris? David Stock? Mr. Stock?
David Stock.
All right. The charter requires a majority vote of the elected members. The majority vote would be 4 votes. And with that, Mr. Stock is elected president of council. At this point, I will return the gavel then to Mr. Stock, and he can proceed with the election of the vice president.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for everybody's support. I'll be happy and proud again to serve as council president again this year. I'm going to open up the floor for nominations for vice president, and I'd like to go ahead and nominate Judy Jones for vice president. Any other nominations for vice president? Any other nominations for vice president? Any other nominations for vice president? All right, we're going to close the nominations, and with no other nominations, Judy, congratulations.
Thank you, David. Congratulations to you as well.
Thank you. And I'm going to have to say, I do not have, it's in my truck, the rest of this agenda for this meeting. If you want to give me a second, or
Well, I think what's left is the council committee assignments and
Yeah,
then
okay.
adoption of meeting dates. So those are the 2 things left on the agenda.
okay, well, we'll go ahead and do
David,
that.
you can pull those up on your computer, honey.
Yeah, but I'm using my computer to have my Zoom meeting right now. So.
I
but-
think you can do both. Ask Katie.
No,
Can't
I
you, Katie?
can't. I
Oh.
can't do both. I'm sure you can. I build stuff, Judy.
You build
Well,
stuff
I'm
very
real good
well
at that.
too. I get it.
I'm very good at that. But anyhow, so as far as committee goes, if anybody has any objections to keeping our same committees, let me know right now and we'll see what we can do. But as far as that goes, I think everybody's doing a great job and we'll keep our committees as we have in the past. Any
Sounds good.
issues with that?
Good
All right.
idea. Second.
All right, thanks, Terry. And as far as our meeting dates, I'm still happy with keeping our first and third Wednesdays. No summers off or anything. Anybody needs their time off, that's not a problem. So like I make a motion to keep our first and third Wednesday council meetings for the year 2021.
Second.
We have a first and a second. We'll get a roll call on that.
Mr.
Please.
Cotts,
Yes.
Mr. Hargit,
Yes.
Mrs. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Fetterman,
Yes.
Mr. Hawk,
Yes.
Miss Norris, yes, Mr. Stock.
Yes, thank you. So I guess we can adjourn our organizational meeting at this time. I'd like to make a motion. Do we adjourn?
Second.
We got a first and a second. We'll go ahead and have a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. All right, thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and go right into our actual regular council meeting for this Wednesday, January 6th, 2020. We'll call it 6:07. Can we still stand for the pledge, please? Again?
Apologize for that. Yeah, we should-
We can do it this time again. Never hurts.
I pledge allegiance
Allegiance
to the flag
flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
And
one
One
nation, under God,
God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, we bypassed our committee meetings this evening because we have no legislation on our agenda this evening. So, go to the roll call, please. Kelly?
Mr. Cotts.
Here.
Mr. Hargit,
Here.
Mrs. Jones,
Present.
Mr. Fetterman,
Here.
Mr. Hawk,
Here.
Miss Norris. Here. Mr. Stock.
Here, thank you. Actually, I'd like to make a motion to approve our minutes from our regular scheduled meeting of November 18th. Also, our meeting of December 30th.
Second.
You got a first and second. Any discussion on those minutes?
Are you sure you're approving the minutes of November 18th as opposed to December 16th?
December 16th.
December 16th. I actually got an old agenda I'm looking off here. December 16th. Thank you, Jim. So that would be December 16th and December 30th. Make
Second.
motion. Thank you. We got a first and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Hargit,
Yes.
Mrs. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Fetterman,
Yes.
Mr. Hawk,
Yes.
Miss Norris. Yes. Mr. Stock,
Yes.
Mr. Cotts.
Yes.
All right, that passes 7-0. Let me check this agenda real quick. All righty, we're gonna go into our public comments at this time. Facebook. I think we have one. There's something going on down on Caston Road, Paul, because they said the road is a muddy mess.
Aqua has begun.
Okay.
They were gonna start at East Caston and come up Main Street, but there's a they still aren't fully coordinated with Summit County Sanitary Sewers and ODNR, because that ODNR station sits right there at the corner of West Caston and Main, and they have to figure out, are they going under it or around it or whatever. So anyway, they're a little log jam there in terms of getting that piece. So they've advanced over and they're starting up Caston. So they're starting to install the water lines.
All right. and they should-
We believe that the streets will, as of right now, there won't be any road closures. The streets will remain open during construction.
Okay, and I do know, as being in the business for a long time, the contractor is responsible. If they're leaving a lot of mud on the road, they need to address that situation. You know, sometimes they'll have street cleaning machines on site, because if they're pulling trucks in and off the road with mud and that, they need to be responsible for that.
I'll pass that on to Brian, and I'll
Okay,
talk
okay.
to the construction folks.
All right.
In my meeting.
I don't see anything else, Katie, you?
That's it for right now.
All right. Again, we have no legislation this evening. So we're gonna move into the mayor's report.
Hey, I hate to muddy up a good meeting with a long mayor's report. So you just heard part of it. Aqua has begun. And the finance team has done a marvelous job, I'll say, finalizing, turning the corner here, finishing up what had to be done for the end of the first year of this year and get ready for 2021. And then on top of that was all of the reporting that had to be done for our reimbursement of expenses from the CARES funds, a total of about 1.5 million. And there were extensive reports that had to be filed with the county because we got about 400,000 of that from them. The deadline was today for the reports to the Office of Budget Management. I'm probably stealing Sue's thunder, but I'm gonna give her a big pat on the back. We spent some time on that. Well, I spent some time looking at her work on this, and hundreds of pages of documents. I was gonna, in anticipation of our meeting this morning, she sent it over. I said, well, I'll print this out so we can talk about it. And I looked, in the first one, there were 3, and the first one had 270 pages anyway. It's a lot of work, and it's in addition to a time of year when things are crazy anyway. So it got done, and just a huge pat on the back to Susan and the support team back there that helps her with Karen and Chris and Diane. And beyond that, that's all I have to report today.
Thank you, Paul. Susan, finance?
Nothing really new other than what the mayor's already said. And of course, we're working on our year end and closing. So just busy doing the usual things at this time of year.
All right, thank you. How about old business? Any old business? All right, new business. I'm still gathering information for contractor registration. There's a lot of good information that I'm gathering that I'll get out to everybody to kind of take a look at and see what I'm looking for or what we need to do. If we're making sure we know who's coming in here selling things to our residents, I think it'd be okay to know that who's coming in and doing work on their homes and different things too. So there'll be some information in the next month or two. We'll get through the first part of the year here, then I'm gonna start distributing that to everybody. Any other new business? All right. See if we have any questions. Not seeing any. Katie, nothing? All right. Paul, executive session this evening?
No, sir.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
We have first and second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
Mr. Hargit?
Yes, and I'd like to thank everybody that said happy birthday to me yesterday.
happy belated, Terry, sorry.
Mrs. Jones?
9 again? Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Fetterman?
Yes.
Mr. Hawk?
Yes.
Ms. Norris,
Yes.
Mr. Stock.
Yes. All right. Thank you again, everybody. Everybody looks well, and stay healthy and stay safe. Thanks
Happy
again.
New
Thanks,
Year.
David. Thanks.
Happy
for
New Year.
Bye, everybody.